Welcome to Faithful Film Fanatic, where today I am going to review the film Lethal Weapon 4. I'm quite pleased to inform you that this film was written by two totally different writers. Jonathan Lemkin, who wrote the 2007 film Shooter, which I just love that film, and then Alfred Go, who wrote the 2000 film Shanghai Noon, which was another movie that I absolutely love. And so, with both of these screenwriters, you can tell that they know what they're doing. And this movie is so good. I'm just so glad that Jeffrey Boehm isn't writing these no more. The film, the way it was written, it has that perfect combination of action and comedy. And the comedy don't get dry or old for the most part. And I enjoyed that. I very much enjoyed the direction of this film. It was just laughing out loud riot. The only problems I had with this film were very small things that I didn't like, but if you are a Lethal Weapon diehard fan, you might actually enjoy these a lot more than I did. The only problems I had were Joe Pesci wasn't as funny to me as I was expecting, as I was wanting. I didn't like Jet Li as a bad guy, and I thought there were a lot of wasted screen time. But with all that, I still very much enjoyed this movie, and I highly recommend anyone to go see it. This film by far does the best at grabbing your attention immediately. From the 30-second mark of the film to the end of the credits of the film, your attention is there. I couldn't turn my head away from the screen. Everything that was said through dialogue was entertaining, and I love it when they do that, or funny. I felt a certain way where I was supposed to. The, when Chris Rock joins the Mel Gibson, Danny Glover, it just makes it that much funnier. I think they did it very well adding Chris Rock to this. The story of the film is quite simple and easy to follow, which I also like. Since the film dealt with a lot of things about Riggs and Murtaugh personally, I liked how it focused on that and the story, but it didn't feel like it was focusing more on too much on one thing over the other. The story is Riggs and Murtaugh are getting older and having to deal with a personal crisis as well as age. While dealing with all of that, they have to contend with deadly Chinese triads. They are trying to free their former leaders out of prison onto American soil. I love the direction that this film went, and I say that again. This film just shows that Jonathan Lemkin and Alfred Go, I hope I'm saying his name right, know exactly what they are doing. Jet Li is the bad guy in this film, and I did not know this going into watching this film, but this was Jet Li's first time ever playing a bad guy. It was his first American film. Now, obviously, the way Jet Li is, if you've seen any of his movies, he's known for not talking a lot. And so in this movie, he obviously doesn't have a whole lot of lines, which has some pros and some cons to it. I guess it's really just a matter of preference. I mean, it doesn't really affect the movie overall. I would have preferred there to have been more lines about him because I would have loved to have learned more about him, but it wasn't a necessity where it had to be. They overall did do pretty good. All I wanted was know more and more about him, but I mean overall it was really good. The main thing I had wrong going into this movie was I had a certain mindset of how Joe Pesci would be in this movie. I thought he was going to be a lot like in the second one, but even funnier. And he wasn't. The film tries to fool the audience by constantly playing the exact same gimmicks of Little Gets from the previous films. And a lot of people might like those or find them enjoyable, and if you are one of those people, then you'd love this. And you wouldn't get annoyed with Joe Pesci as I did. But I just thought all of this humor, I thought it was funnier the first time than the second one. I feel like the second one did the best. I feel like now it's just here we are in the fourth movie. You're doing the exact same thing. It's just getting old. Add something new. I felt like these writers were kind of rude to the audience because they just didn't put a lot of work into Joe Pesci. I felt like I would have loved to have seen some character development of Leo Getz. And however, the ending of this movie does give you a little bit of that, so I appreciate the way the movie ends for that reason. I had a lot of problems with about the way this film uses its time structure, and I keep going back and forth, because the film tries to be several things at once. And it works. I mean, there are a lot of key messages in this movie that the movie tries to promote, which is quite interesting. And I'm sure if you go watch it, you'd be able to figure out what I'm talking about. But I felt like it was kind of weird sometimes because this movie didn't stay consistently as an action comedy. Instead, it felt like a lot of times there was just action and then a lot of comedy, then action and a lot of comedy. And I get some action comedies are like that. It's hard to write comical lines all the time. I get that. I understand that. An example of what I'm trying to say, I guess, is the first 11 minutes of the film is fun to watch and entertaining, and I loved it because it was funny. And I get that's what this movie is supposed to be, yes. But the first 11 minutes of the movie has nothing to do with the story. Like, once you're in the 12th minute of the film, when you start getting into the story and learning stuff, the first 11 just becomes totally irrelevant. And there are a few scenes like that, but it kind of annoyed me a little bit because it was entertaining and fun to watch, but it also just felt like it was added there just to be there. Please tell me how I did today on Lethal Weapon 4. If you have any other films you'd like me to review, please send me a message. Terry Roy on Facebook and TikTok, Favorite Film Fanatic on Twitter. Apologize for that. And Red Hunter _16 on Instagram. Also, I would like to say something is movies have always been a passion of mine. I've loved movies. It's one reason why I'm trying to do these, for instance. And what I decided I want to start doing is I don't have a whole lot of people and right now in my life that share the same passion as I do with movies, and so I just gotta be creative and think of things I can do just by myself until I meet more people similar with me that want to do things. And so what I am going to start doing is I'm going to try to start doing movies, just little short movies, and I'm going to I don't know how long it will take me to do them. I've never done these short movies before, but I'm going to try to this Saturday. I'm going to try to go to Rydervale Falls and Heber Springs and just kind of have fun with it. And if you guys got any ideas for a story that you'd be interested in me doing, please comment. I will try to make a short story out of that. Thank you.